With that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Grow Clip Bonsai for Seniors. That's Mr. Clock saying hello to everybody and saying it's around 8:30 a.m. in the morning. And today is November 18th of 2025. It's Tuesday. It's 41 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius. It's a rainy, cloudy morning or a Winnie the Pooh day. It's been raining on and off in the morning. Not hard, but like drizzle, and then comes down and it stops. But that's what it is today. Today we're going to do some dormant pruning. We're going to work on my Pocomoke. And that's a Crape Myrtle. Now if you really want to try a good tree, try a Crape Myrtle. And Clint Cotton, the Crape Myrtle guy, has beautiful Crape Myrtles. I repotted her on May 30th of 2024. And then on January 24th of this year of 2025, I took her out and I put some fresh soil on the bottom so she can grow for the summer. So I got my little bucket over here so I can raise her up higher so we can see what's going on. And here she is. And this is the best time. I got it in the basement in the west wing, all the way in the corner on the lower shelf, close to the wall, so she stays dormant for the winter time. But as you can see, the clover is growing. So I got my chip brushes. I got these at the Harbor Freight. They were getting rid of them. They had 6 left, so for 27 cents I grabbed them. Why not? So let's take all the leaves off so we can see her structure. And this is the best time to do a pruning on a tree because they're asleep. And all of them in vigor are dormant. They're sleeping, they're resting. Let's get all this leaves off and stuff so we can see how she looks. And then maybe in the spring I'll find a good pot for her and we'll repot her because her roots have been given a whole, I would say, what, 2 years of growth, so they can make her strong. Now you can see the bones of her, and she's like a twin trunk right here. So the first thing we can do is you gotta look at her, check her out. Now, I got my ironwood needle nose because you know nothing cuts wood like ironwood, and I also have my little ironwood tools, my little shears. But I like the needle nose because I can really get in there and cut. So if we look at it, and you can see the tag, that was in a paint marker. Now they got markers with paint, and then this is all in pencil so you can see when I did everything. So I keep a record of that on the tags because I know I'll forget. We'll just take some of this off. Let's get some of these leaves out of here so we can see what we're doing. And we're just going to think of what we can do and how we can prune her. Let me get this in the middle so the turntable turns evenly. Get all the leaves off. This way here we see the bones. So you can see everything's coming out nice and fanning out this way, but we want to take some of this out of the middle here. But in nature, they really do grow that way. So what I'm going to do is just prune a tad bit off there. And you can see it's dormant. It's green. So Tom, can you regrow them? I don't know. We can try. I got some water there. I'm going to clip this one. I think I'll clip this one off right here, because that way there it'll look better and clear up the inside. But I'm not going to cut this branch off all the way, because in nature that's the way they grow. They grow into each other. But then the wind prunes them off. So I'm just going to go above a brain, cut that off. And this branch here is not alive, so we'll take that completely off. But it's green over here, so that's good. Now this one's coming up this way, so that's a bad way of coming up. You can see how it's going into that branch, and we got a nice little branch coming out. So take that branch off right there. And this is green. Nice and green. So I'm going to stick this in water and see if we can do a winter rooting. Now back here, this one is all broken off. So we're going to cut it back to here. And it's still green though. It's green. So we're just cutting that back. We're going to cut this one back. And that's green. And we're going to cut this one back. We're just going right above the node. Right above the, that's the node right here. That's the node, or I call them the brain. Because the brain tells it either to grow roots or to grow a new branch. So put the brains in there. We'll see what happens. Now, we can either save this branch coming out, but I think this one's dead. This one we'll cut out over here, and we'll cut some of these old stems off right there. And this is just from the leaves. Now this top one, we're going to cut it back because we want to keep her small. And she's green. That's a good branch. We'll cut this one back right above a node. That's the node, that's the brain. That's good. So we'll let them just sitting there, let them soak. This one's coming up tall. We're going to cut this one back to here. That's green. Now this one's almost like a water sprout. I don't know if you can see it. Right here, it's coming straight up and out, so we don't want that. So let's get in there. And get in there and just snip it out. We can get in there as close as we can. There we go. Nice and green. And I can probably root that. I don't know. Now we got a bit of a stump right here. So all I'm going to do is, if I can get in there and just cut that out. And that piece looks, there's no green on it. So we're just going to cut it back a little bit more. See, with the needle nose, I can get in there and I'll put some lipstick on there later. And we're going to cut this one back. Give it some room. It's green. Throw it in. Now this one, we're going to cut back because it does not look like it's alive, but it is. So let's cut this one back, and that's alive. Cut this one back, that's alive. That's the best way you can tell on winter pruning. So we're just going to crop them back a little bit. That's alive. I'm going to throw that one in there. This one's long, so we want to keep it like a nice rounded canopy so we can get some nice flowers next year. We're just going to cut it back. I'm going to cut it back to, there's a brain right here so it can grow out this way, or we can have the brain there. So I'm just going to cut right above that brain so it comes out this way. And that's all nice and green. We're going to just soak them in there, see what happens. This one we're going to cut back. Now this one's coming up real tall, so we're going to cut it back to there. Nice and green. Remember, always above a brain. Now this branch, I don't know, I didn't see that one. Looks kind of dead. There's no nodes on it. It's green, but there was no brains on it. That one I'm going to put there. We're going to cut this one there. It's green. So she's asleep. So, and then this one we're going to come back and cut it to about right above a brain, because the brain is right here. There's a brain right there, so we're going to cut it right above the brain. Put it in water. That's green. And I think we'll leave it just like that. We'll leave her like that. Just to let her get more growth so we can thicken up the trunk. And then in the spring, I'll see if I can find a good pot for her, and we're going to take this all apart and we're going to replant her. So now I'm going to take my lipstick. And lipstick is cheaper and better than cut paste. To me it is. And we'll just give a little dab to the branches. Because when I spray them, I usually spray some water on them, just to keep the air from being too dry around them. I do that. And we got over here. And a little cut in there. And we got it. Lipstick is cheap. Remember, lipstick is a natural wax. And a natural wax is what you want on your trees. You don't want that cut paste. And it stays on. It stays on my roses all winter long and into the next fall. And if you want it, you can always wipe it off or cut above it. But it'll give you a nice, simple look. And this one's almost like a brown color. You know, it's a dark color, but you can see it blends in pretty well with the tree. You can hardly notice where I dabbed it on. So I think we got it. It's pretty good. This is LA Colors. It's at the Dollar Tree. It's cheap. You know, $1.25 is probably up to $1.50 now, and then we'll go from there. So all I'm going to do is mark on my tag that I pruned it, and then we'll go from there. And then in the spring, we'll check out for another pot, and we'll see what we can do. But try out a Pocomoke. They're small. I think they grow like 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide. So this and they have real nice small leaves. So this will make you a beautiful crepe myrtle. And you got to go to Clint Cotton, the crepe myrtle guy. Just look up Clint Cotton, the crepe myrtle guy on your search. And he's in the States. He's in Texas, I believe. And if you got any questions, you can write in there, and he'll write you back. I think, and he's got his number. You can call him. Clint, I wish I had your little cup holder. I forgot where I put it. Oh, here it is. Oh, thanks for the catch, Mr. Elephant. Mr. Elephant says hello to all the kitties. Yep, he's in Waxahachie, Texas, established in 2013. Clint Cotton, the crepe myrtle guy. Give them a look. And the trees, you know, for one tree, they'll ship it, but the shipping charges are about the same when you combine the prices as if you buy 4. So then the shipping is free. So I think that's a better deal because Clint is a smart guy. But if you want to break them up, because you can break them up and get 5, it's I think $10 more, but hey, it's well worth it. You get a variety. So there you have it. I got to write this down. And today's Tuesday. Today's detective night. Get a nice hot cup of tea. Put on some good old detective stories on old time radio when radio was radio. And I like to listen to Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce on old time radio. Sherlock Holmes with Petri wine. And I think it's what? This is a Groves bromoquinine. You got a cold. Well, we'll go from there. You take care, everybody. Have a good day. And I love these rainy days because now I can start working on this room. But first I got to do clean all the filters today on the fish. Take care and have a great day.